What's going on, guys? Flash Season 3, Episode 6 just aired. Let's talk. Now, I have to say it, I didn't really care much for the previous episode, but this episode was so good. There was so many layers to it. We kind of had three things going on. Let's start with Killer Frost. So essentially, Caitlyn in this episode is just kind of like trying to figure out how she's going to tell the team. Is she going to tell the team? And you can see like this internal struggle with her through the entire episode. She ends up coming out first to Cisco, which was cool. You know, she put on the cuffs. She saw that, and you can see how the camera just panned to her when he was talking about the cuffs that reduce people's powers. And she just kind of had that look like, oh, I need those. But it was cool. Like, she first, came out to Cisco, told him about it. Like, I need you to vibe me. Let me know if I'm going to beat her. And it was done so well. Like, you see them fighting, and he just had this look on his face like, no, like, one of my best friends, if not my best friend in the world, is going to become my enemy. And you kind of felt it. Like, you had 2 seasons already, obviously, of their relationship as friends, and you kind of see it come to that. It's sad. It's like, damn, like, what's going to happen? And I hope that that sequence was them training. I hope that they were training. But we don't really know. But it was crazy to see that. And then obviously later we see him, kind of just put her on blast in front of everybody. Like, look, like, you just got to face it and come out. And she was pissed at the beginning, but I'm glad that they didn't follow the same kind of rhetoric that we always see in these superhero shows of like, oh, I'm not going to tell anybody. I'm going to keep it to myself. So I'm glad that this season with Flash, they're breaking some of these stereotypes that them and Arrow have actually created for these shows, as far as hiding secrets from the team for the good, So I like that happened. And when we see later on in the episode, like, she throws the cuffs to Barry so Barry can stop this, the Shade guy. And then, come to Cisco later on and actually say, thanks for actually, telling them. And, I just kind of freaked out. I don't ever really like help. And it was just cool. Like, you see them kind of tie it back together as far as their relationship, and he's there to help. It was just dope how they kind of ended their little mini arc in this episode. Now, next being Wally. Wally has been wanting to be a speedster for a while. We know he was Kid Flash in the Flashpoint timeline, and now he's getting all these kind of dreams and messages from Alchemy. And again, this was another level of the episode that I actually really, really enjoyed. We've seen Wally in certain parts of the series where I just felt like he's very whiny, but this one I felt like the acting was perfect for where he was going as a character, and seeing his struggle of like, he wants to help, but he really wants to be a speedster. That's gotta be like the most torturous process to go through. I want to be a speedster. He can give me speed, but every person he gives, powers to become evil. Like, that's gotta be like the worst, catch-22 ever. Now, obviously, we see at the very end where he kind of ends up in this cocoon thing. We don't really know what he's gonna come out as. Is he gonna be good? Is he gonna be evil? Who knows? But I hope he's conflicted. I hope that there's layers to him. I don't want him just to be like good Wally. I want him to have an edge to him. I want him to be fighting some kind of like internal demon with whatever. If Alchemy is controlling him or something, I don't want it just to be like, oh, you have powers, I'm a speedster. Like, I want there to be some challenge for him with his abilities. I know that sounds crazy, but I do. So finally we have Alchemy, and it kind of led to Savitar. Now, if you don't know who Savitar is, he is a speedster from New Earth. It's a New Earth kind of timeline. And he's pretty badass. Now, in the comics, he doesn't have this kind of like Megatron look to him. I'm not sure if that's just a suit that he has on, or if that's what he looks like in the show. He looks pretty dope, but he has a ridiculous amount of speed and can actually siphon speed from other speedsters. Pretty badass. So he can actually absorb the speed force as well, so people around him can't actually access it. So I'm not 100% sure if they're going to use those same kind of properties with him, his abilities in the comics, in the TV show. And I'm really curious to see why they brought back 2 speedsters. Maybe he's siphoning speed from these other speedsters. First they bring back Rival. Now he's trying to get Wally West. So I wonder if that's his plan. Is just to bring speedsters that had speedster ability so you can siphon more speed force from them. I'm not 100% sure, obviously. But it's dope that we have another bad. Like, I'm not 100% sure, like I said before, that Alchemy was the bad. Remember I was saying, like, I'm not sure if he's the big bad, and I didn't really care for him as the big bad. But now that we have Savitar, this could get really interesting really fast. That was a pun. But let me know what you guys think of the episode. Episode 6, did you guys like it? Were you entertained? Were you not entertained? Were you excited? Were you bored? Let me know in the comment section down below. And if you guys like this recap, hit that thumbs up button. Show your boys some love. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, you're going to want to do that. Hit that APP logo in the corner to subscribe to the channel. And if you want to check out my episode 5 recap, the link will be right here. All right, guys. Till next time. See you later.